You swallow creatine today, you look in the mirror tomorrow, and probably see absolutely nothing. But inside your muscles, a quiet change has already started. Your cells are beginning to stockpile a substance that can help them recycle energy when demand suddenly explodes. And your body isn't meeting creatine for the first time. You naturally make some yourself and obtain some through food. Supplementation simply provides more material for a system your cells already use every day, especially during short, powerful bursts of activity. That is what makes creatine interesting. It doesn't behave like caffeine. There's usually no instant rush or dramatic buzz. Instead, creatine gradually increases the amount stored inside your tissues, especially skeletal muscle, preparing your body for moments when rapid energy matters most. But the real story isn't the water, it's energy. Every rep, jump, sprint, and even every thought depends on a tiny energy-carrying molecule called ATP. The problem? Your immediately available ATP supply is limited, especially when your muscles are working at maximum intensity. One of the earliest visible changes may actually be water. Creatine helps draw water into muscle cells. That's different from simply holding fluid underneath the skin. The result can be slightly fuller muscles because the water is being stored inside the muscle tissue itself. That extra energy doesn't magically turn you into a superhero. What it may do is help you squeeze out another hard repetition, maintain sprint power a little longer, or perform repeated explosive efforts more consistently. Small improvements can become meaningful when repeated for weeks. Creatine becomes useful through phosphocreatine. Think of it as an emergency energy backup. When ATP loses part of its energy, phosphocreatine can help rebuild it rapidly. That gives your muscles another brief window to keep producing high power. And that's only the beginning, because muscles aren't the only tissues that need rapid energy. Your brain is also incredibly energy demanding, which raises a fascinating question. Could increasing creatine availability influence both physical performance and what happens inside your head? Now, repeat that advantage across an entire workout. Maybe one extra repetition here, slightly better power there, a stronger final set when you would normally slow down. Creatine doesn't replace training. It can help you get more quality from training. And over months, those small increases in useful work may contribute to larger improvements in strength and muscle. To understand why creatine affects performance, imagine your muscles like a city during a sudden power surge. Normal energy systems can produce plenty of fuel, but some pathways take time. The phosphocreatine system is different. It responds almost immediately. During a heavy lift, jump, or sprint, that rapid backup helps regenerate ATP exactly when demand reaches its highest point. This also explains why performance can improve before your appearance changes. Creatine isn't simply inflating muscles overnight. First, your muscles become better supplied for high-intensity work. Then, if that allows better training over time, the adaptation follows. The mirror is usually one of the last places where the story becomes obvious. The cognitive story is more nuanced than the fitness headlines make it sound. Creatine isn't a guaranteed brain booster for everyone, but research suggests some people may benefit more than others, especially when baseline creatine stores are lower or when the brain is under unusually high energy demand, such as periods of inadequate sleep. What about your brain? Brain cells also rely heavily on ATP. They constantly spend energy sending signals, maintaining electrical gradients, and processing information. Creatine is present there too. Increasing brain creatine may provide an additional energy buffer, which is one reason researchers have investigated it for memory, thinking, and mental fatigue. Diet can influence that starting point too. People who eat little or no animal-based food often consume less dietary creatine. That doesn't automatically mean everyone will experience a dramatic difference, but it helps explain why certain groups sometimes show stronger responses in studies. With creatine, your starting level matters. For someone focused on strength, this is where creatine's reputation becomes easier to understand. More available phosphocreatine means faster ATP regeneration during repeated high-intensity efforts. That can support better performance in activities such as resistance training and sprinting. But the supplement provides opportunity. The training still provides the reason for your body to adapt. Then there's the famous water retention debate. Yes, creatine can increase body water, particularly as muscle creatine rises, but that doesn't automatically equal the puffy, bloated appearance people fear. Much of the early shift is associated with water inside muscle tissue, which is why some users notice slightly fuller-looking muscles. Recovery is another area people often oversimplify. Creatine won't erase every sore muscle the morning after training. Instead, think of it as supporting the cellular energy system involved in training and restoration. If you can maintain higher quality work and recover reliably enough to repeat it, the biggest advantage may appear through consistency rather than overnight transformation. Now, let's address the question that scares many people: kidneys. Creatinine, a breakdown product related to creatine metabolism, is commonly measured in kidney testing. Supplementing creatine can complicate interpretation of that marker without automatically meaning the kidneys are being damaged. That's an important distinction that gets lost in online arguments. And creatine research doesn't stop with young gym-goers. Scientists have also studied it in older adults, particularly alongside resistance exercise, because preserving muscle and physical function becomes increasingly important with age. The important word is support. Creatine isn't a replacement for movement, protein, sleep, or medical care. It is one possible tool. For healthy adults, creatine has been studied extensively and is generally considered well-tolerated when used appropriately. But that doesn't mean personal medical history should be ignored. Anyone with kidney disease, pregnancy, significant health conditions, or medications that affect kidney function should discuss supplementation with a qualified healthcare professional first. So what actually happens when creatine becomes part of your routine? Muscle stores gradually rise. Rapid energy recycling improves. High-intensity performance may improve. Training quality can increase. Some people may also gain cognitive benefits. None of those effects makes creatine magic, but together, they explain why such a simple molecule has attracted so much scientific attention. Another myth says creatine works by giving you artificial energy. It doesn't. It doesn't behave like a stimulant, and it doesn't create muscle without effort. Instead, it strengthens an energy recycling system already built into your biology. That's why the most impressive results usually aren't dramatic overnight changes. They're small performance advantages compounded through consistent training. So, did creatine work the way you thought it did? Tell me below. And if you want more science explained visually and simply, subscribe, because your body has a lot more hidden systems worth discovering.